Thursday of the 10th week in Ordinary Time.
A reading from the second letter of St. Paul to the Corinthians. Brothers and sisters, to this day, whenever Moses is read, a veil lies over the hearts of the children of Israel. But whenever a person turns to the Lord, the veil is removed. Now the Lord is the Spirit, and where the Spirit of the Lord is, there is freedom. All of us, gazing with unveiled face on the glory of the Lord, are being transformed into the same image from glory to glory, as from the Lord who is the Spirit. Therefore, since we have this ministry through the mercy shown us, we are not discouraged. And even though our gospel is veiled, it is veiled for those who are perishing, in whose case the God of this age has blinded the minds of the unbelievers, so that they may not see the light of the gospel of the glory of Christ, who is the image of God. For we do not preach ourselves, but Jesus Christ as Lord, and ourselves as your slaves for the sake of Jesus. For God, who said, "Let light shine out of darkness," has shone in our hearts to bring to light the knowledge of the glory of God on the face of Jesus Christ. The word of the Lord.
The responsorial psalm. The response is, "The glory of the Lord will dwell in our land." I will hear what God proclaims, the Lord, for he proclaims peace to his people. Near indeed is his salvation to those who fear him, glory dwelling in our land. The glory of the Lord will dwell in our land. Kindness and truth shall meet, justice and peace shall kiss. Truth shall spring out of the earth, and justice shall look down from heaven. The glory of the Lord will dwell in our land. The Lord himself will give his benefits. Our land shall yield its increase. Justice shall walk before him, and salvation along the way of his steps. The glory of the Lord will dwell in our land.
A reading from the Holy Gospel according to Matthew. Jesus said to his disciples, "I tell you, unless your righteousness surpasses that of the scribes and Pharisees, you will not enter into the kingdom of heaven. You have heard that it was said to your ancestors, 'You shall not kill, and whoever kills will be liable to judgment.' But I say to you, whoever is angry with his brother will be liable to judgment. And whoever says to his brother, 'Raca,' will be answerable to the Sanhedrin. And whoever says, 'You fool,' will be liable to fiery Gehenna. Therefore, if you bring your gift to the altar, and there recall that your brother has anything against you, leave your gift there at the altar. Go first and be reconciled with your brother, and then come and offer your gift. Settle with your opponent quickly while on the way to court with him. Otherwise, your opponent will hand you over to the judge, and the judge will hand you over to the guard, and you will be thrown into prison. Amen, I say to you, you will not be released until you have paid the last penny." The Gospel of the Lord.
Thursday of the 10th week in Ordinary Time. The first reading is from 2 Corinthians 3:15 to 4:1, and then verses 3 to 6. Paul uses the idea of the veil that covered the face of Moses so that the glowing skin would not frighten the people. He says that even now there's a veil in front of the law whenever it's read to the people of Israel. They don't fully understand what God intends. In Jesus, that veil has been removed. Remember how the veil of the Holy of the Holies in the temple was torn asunder when Jesus died on the cross. The very holiness of God comes crashing into the earth. These things are no longer hidden from us, they're revealed to us. And therefore, our minds are filled with the glory of God. We have received such a gift to know who God is and what he wants of us. We can clearly see this when we talk about the Old Testament, where God sends the Israelites into villages to kill all the men, women, and children. Did God really say that, Or was that the way that the Israelites interpreted what God was saying? They were understanding through a veil. Jesus came and he clearly explained to us that we should love even our enemies. We see an example of that in Matthew 5:20-26. He says that your righteousness has to be greater than that of the Pharisees. The Pharisees spoke about building a fence around the law, taking the law to its widest possible interpretation to make sure you're not breaking the smallest part of the law. Well, he did this in a very scrupulous way, rigorously observing the law, until they were almost enslaved by the regulations. Jesus said, what this Pharisee said is true. You have to build a fence around the law, but it should be a spiritual fence. Look for the deeper meaning of the law and then try to apply it. The commandment is don't kill. We shouldn't kill somebody's reputation. We shouldn't kill them by anger. We shouldn't kill their hopes. These are different ways of killing. We shouldn't kill people ourselves by not taking care of our health. We shouldn't kill unborn children, the elderly, by not fighting for their rights. If we do, we'll be capable to the fiery Gehenna. Remember, the name Gehenna is the Aramaic name for the Hinnom Valley, a valley just outside of Jerusalem where the temple dump was. There were wastes from the temple, fat, coals, grease fires, a lot of flies, a stench. It was a perfect example of what hell would be like. So it was used as an example of eternal punishment. What should we do instead of calling our brother a fool? We should make peace with him. If we're going to worship God, our worship should be based upon a peaceful heart. So before going to Mass, maybe we should call up our neighbor with whom we've been feuding and offer peace. Now, if the person doesn't accept our peace offer, maybe it's just not time yet. Maybe they're not ready. We try again tomorrow, but we don't give up. What happens if I'm very, very, very angry at somebody and I can't forgive that person yet? Should I receive the Eucharist? And the answer is, do you want to forgive the person? You're not ready yet, but in your heart of hearts, do you want it to be healed someday? If you do, that's already enough. And may God bless us.